Welcome to part 2 of this month's exciting design team project for the Digital Collage Club. In this video, we'll continue our journey of repurposing and creativity as we create this charming little travel journal. Together, we'll dive into the step-by-step process of crafting another fun signature. Welcome, it's Barbara from Vienna, Austria. So as a reminder, this is where we left off in part 1. So we made this cover together with several layers of fabric and packaging and jeans. This tag I made in a separate video, and you can find a playlist with the videos for this journal down below this video. And then we made this together here. And this one I made off camera, but I explained how I made it. So today I want to continue to make another one of these kind of signatures. It's not actually a whole signature, but I'm just going to call it signature because I don't know what else to call it. And for that I have printed out these two. So these are part of the kit. As always, you can find the kits that I'm using linked below this video. So I've printed these on 200 GSM cardstock. I've cut them out, inked up the edges with walnut stain, and now I want to add some interest to the inside. I want these to have space for writing, so I just want to add a little bit of color in the background. So I'll start off by adding water. And then I'll add some saltwater taffy oxide spray. You can also, of course, use watercolors. That would also work really well. And I'll add some fossilized amber oxide spray. I'll add a little bit more water. If you dry them like I did, then they will warp a little bit, of course, but you can just bend them into shape. Or if you have time, you can, of course, put them under some books for a couple of hours. Then I'm going to ink around all the edges with my walnut stain on these sides as well. I saw now that it's tearing here a little bit. So I'm going to fix that by adding some fabric on top of that. Not the whole length, just here on the bottom. So I'll just take some thin down glue. This is my textile glue. It doesn't matter, you take what you have. And then I'll just patch that up, and it actually adds a really cute element. And I'll wipe away any glue that is visible because that will be glossy otherwise. Like that. And I think I have to do, the same thing up here. It's tearing as well. The bottom is fine. Maybe it's easier to put the glue on the fabric, then I don't have to worry about any extra glue on my cardstock. And then I want to stamp something on the inside. So on one, I'll stamp this letter stamp, and on the other, I'll stamp the telegram stamp. And these are both Tim Holtz stamp sets, which are called Special Delivery. I don't know if these are still available. And I'll just stamp this with permanent Stays On jet black ink. Okay, let's see how to add these into our journal. So what I want to do is I want to have one like this and the other one like that. And I've already prepared some fabric. So on this side, I have a piece of the beautiful Tim Holtz Memoranda receipt fabric. So this one here. I will again link the German online store Quilting for You below, which is where I get all of these fabulous fabrics. And on the back side, I have a piece of this beautiful one. Lots of beautiful earthy tones. And this is the Melange from the Eclectic Elements series. Let me show you a little more of this one because it's just absolutely beautiful. Look at this. Oh, I just love these fabrics. And then, as you can see, I also sewed on some scraps of some of the other fabrics just on the one side. And I measured this to be able to go around this so that I could add my tag, not my tag, my little folder here. So we have one here, and then the second one will be here, like that. So let's take these out. And this. So I'll add some fabric glue here. I'm not going to thin it down because I really need this to stick well. And I have 2 layers here anyway, so I'm not worried about it seeping through. And for this side, this is going to go on like this. I could also put it like this. No, I'll do it like this. Okay, so let's try this again. This will go over like that. We can open this here. And we can open this here. Oh no, I glued it the wrong way around. Are you serious? Look at this. Oh, Barbara. Okay. What can we do? Okay, there's always a solution, right? So in this case, I'm just going to take a scrap piece of coffee dyed paper and stamp this again. And then I'll cut around this, leaving a little bit of a border. Do these things happen to you too? Seems like it's the story of my life. Let's add some glue. Okay, no one will ever know. Okay, so let's try this again. So this goes over like this. We have this, and there's quite a lot of space here, so I want to add something there as well. And I chose this card of India, so I can just add that here. I'm just going to grunge up the edges like you've seen me do in part 1 of this video, like that. And then I can add that here. But before I adhere this, I also want to add this little camera charm. So I'm going to make a hole here in the corner first with my crocodile. I'm using the larger hole. I'm going to take an eyelet, take one of these. Then I'll add a jump ring to the camera. And now I'll take a piece of this fun Avril yarn and I'll try to somehow attach this. I think I'll just tie it around this. Okay, and now I can glue that on. Okay, what about the back side? So I've chosen this one here for this side, and I'm going to just glue that one on. And then I want to add this strip of jeans material and add that here. And I want to stamp an embossed word on this. I will use my clickable alphabet stamps. You can find these linked below. And I'm going to stamp the word sweet. I think that fits on here just right. So I'll again use my embossing dabber. And I'm going to wipe the edges here because I don't want that printing. I might still get some of it, but I'll do what I can. I hope this will work. Taking my white embossing powder. Oh no, this is not really working. And I don't think I can fix this either. Let's not do this. Let me wipe this off. It was definitely worth a try. I did manage to get some nice stamping on the big jeans journal that I linked under the first part of this video, but I don't think I stamped any words. So let's figure out an alternative. So instead, I'll just take my black ink. I did clean the stamp in the meantime. So after inking up the edges, I can now glue this onto my jeans material. That's also fine, right? And then we can glue it on. And now we still need something for the back side here. So I'm using this one from Geneva, and I printed this as 2 pages on 1 page, so that reduces it to 50%. But then I reduced this whole print to 90%. So this is the original size and this is the smaller size. So that will go here. And then I'm going to add the Bon Voyage. I think they speak French in Geneva, if I'm not mistaken, either on top or on the bottom, I don't know yet. And I printed these at 40%. So they are much bigger when you print them in the original size. I'll add this label on top of this London Gridlock Tim Holtz fabric. That will make that stand out a bit more. And I'll add a piece of this memoranda receipt fabric under this Geneva card. And I want another splash of color here. So I'm going to add some saltwater taffy here. Maybe I'll spray a little bit of water first. So dried, this is what it looks like. Let's see what we have when we add these. It's better, definitely better. I'm going to go with this, so I'll just adhere these. I also want to add something dangling here because you can never have enough dangles, am I right? So I printed these. These are called Bon Voyage round images, and I printed these at 30%, so a lot smaller than they are originally. And as you can see, I've already cut a few of these out, but I want to show you what I did. So let's take, for example, this fish who seems to be traveling somewhere. Then you can either cut those out by hand, but I have this little punch. I cannot tell you the size because it doesn't tell me. I'm so sorry. I'm going to punch this out. And this just got stuck. Yay! So no worries if that happens. Please don't throw your punches out if that happens. All we need to do is take something which we can fit into the hole of the punch, and then just with a lot of force you just slam it down and that will release the punch again. So that was just one time and we see it works again. I'll ink up the edges. And then I have these in my stash. I've had these for years, never used them. I don't know what they're called. If someone here knows what these are called, please put it in the comments below so that the other viewers will know how to search for something like this. Obviously, this comes from jewelry making. I did buy mine locally a few years ago, and printing these at 30% makes them fit in here perfectly. So I'm first going to add some glue and glue that down. No. Because I don't want this in silver, I'm going to first add some alcohol ink to that. So I'm taking the Butterscotch alcohol ink by Tim Holtz and Ranger. And I'm just going to drip that here around the edge. A little more up here, and then also on the back side, because we'll see that as well. And that just needs a couple of minutes to dry. If you use your heat gun for the drying process, please be careful because obviously this metal is going to get really hot. So this is dry now, and I can glue in my little image here. And I am making sure that it's upright. And then I added this here. This is like a clear medium. It's something similar like, for example, the crackle accents, but without the crackle. They look very similar. I don't have a lot of luck with the crackle accents, so I like using this one. And then I just fill this image up, not the image, the metal thing. I fill it as much as I can, so it actually has like this dome shape now. But when it dries, and it takes, I don't know how long it takes actually. Let me see what the bottle says. The bottle says 3 to 24 hours. So what I noticed after it was dry was that it didn't only become flat, but it even had like a, what is the shape? A concave shape. Once it was dry, I added another layer, hoping that it would become a dome. So I have these three that I've already done, because I don't have 24 hours, or actually 48 hours with the 2 layers. When after that was dried, it still is not really a dome. Do you see that? It still kind of has this indent in the middle. It's no big deal, but I would have loved it to have a dome shape. I don't know how to get it because it keeps always sinking in when it dries. So I'm really happy with these 3. This one needs to do its thing, so that will be done in like 2 days, I guess. And I think I'll take this one here to add to my little flip thing. So I'll punch a hole in my tab here. Add another eyelet. Okay, I don't know what I did. Look what happened. Okay, let's remove this eyelet because this looks like I could hurt myself. Whoops! And now it just flew across my craft room. Let's try this again. All sorts of things are happening today. This is normal for me, so don't think that just because I make a lot of videos, everything always goes perfectly. Far from it. But it's a lot more fun this way, I think. Okay, that is better. And I think I'll just use the same Avil yarn to attach it. Oh, I think I first need a jump ring here. Okay, so I've added my jump ring and I've just tied it on with a bow with that same Avil yarn. So we have that now. So another fun element. And then on this side here, on the inside of the tab, I want to stamp the word filed. This is from the Tim Holtz Field Notes set. This would have been so much easier before I added the eyelet. And then on the other one, on this one here, on the inside, I also want to stamp. I'll stamp a number, which is also from the field note set. Also much easier if I would have done this before I sewed everything together, but that's just how it goes. This here seems too clean to me. It doesn't have enough character yet, so I'm going to try something which might totally just mess this up, but I have to get it out of my system. So I'm going to use this stamp here, which is Tim Holtz and Stampers Anonymous, called Faded Type CMS 397. I will also link this for you below. Going to add some iced spruce distress oxide. And since I don't want a perfect print of the stamp, I will add some water. And I'm not using a stamping block. And I'll add some here as well. Going over the fabric. Let's add some more to the fabric. Okay, it's not really showing up on the fabric. It is showing up here. It's not very abstract. It looks pretty much just printed like I wouldn't have added water, but it's okay. And since I didn't manage to ruin it yet, let's try adding some more color so I have another chance of ruining it. So I'll add a little bit of water up here and down here and add some of the saltwater taffy, just a little bit. And I'll also add some here to the fabric without adding water. So I like this a lot better. This has so much more character now. So let's add that to our signature and to our journal. It's getting there. I think it probably needs like one more of these. Thank you for joining me in this part 2 of my DIY Jeans Travel Junk Journal tutorial. I hope you enjoyed the process of creating another signature as much as I did. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you'll be notified as soon as part 3 is released. I'm so looking forward to continuing this creative journey with you. Thank you for your continuous support and your lovely comments on part 1 of this mini series. Love you guys.
Mwah, mwah.